Is a rising interest rate a concern to take note of? So, how will the imminent hikes in interest rate affect you now or in the long run? And what does this mean for home buyers? Will it affect my property purchase journey? Hi, my name is Dave Lee, and welcome back to another episode of my series #AIP by Dave. In today's episode, you are going to learn the reason why interest rates are increasing and understand the rationale of why hikes in interest rate are not causing the property market to crumble or stagnate. While we all know that increase in prices is typically due to inflation, which also affect property prices, and to mitigate this inflation, monetary authority usually increase the interest rates. This means to say that even there isn't any growth in the real estate market over the next few years, we may see property prices escalate solely fueled by inflation. So, what does this mean for you, home buyers? Let's find out. 2021 was an amazing year for home sellers as property prices were hitting new peaks. This buying demand in the real estate market is largely speculated to be caused by, number one, the impact of tourism and uncertainties in the financial market during the COVID-19. And number two, delays in construction and rising costs in material caused by global supply chain disruption and manpower crunch from the pandemic. This huge spike in demand against the depleting supply have forced many home buyers to sweep up the unsold inventory, causing it to hit a record low of 19,409 in Q2 of 2021. Home buyers are further enticed by the increase in their purchasing power, with interest rate hitting an all-time low. Now, at present, as the economy is moving forward towards recovery, there are plans by the US Fed to raise interest rate for the first time since 2018. And it is common knowledge that Singapore's interest rates are closely pegged to the movement of the US Fed interest rates. So many home buyers will be afraid of the rising interest rate because it will affect eventually the amount they have to pay after calculating accrued interest from their home loan. But what if I tell you that whether the interest rate is moving upwards or downwards has minimum effects on your home if you have made calculated consideration on buying your home? While you think that it is a hard time to buy a home since interest rates are set to hike, let me share with you statistics and example of truth about the relationship between the property market and interest rate. As you can see, over the past 20 years, property prices has been on the incline. In fact, since Q1 in 2010, interest rate has been relatively flat except for Q1 of 2015 when they start surging and then drop when the pandemic happened. So does it mean that people who bought properties between Q1 of 2015 and the pandemic suffer losses when the interest rate flattened over the last 2 years? The truth is, instead, not only did they not suffer a loss, but many buyers make extremely lucrative returns. Here's an example for you. A twin peak unit was transacted at one of the peak of the interest rate in 2018, but managed to make close to a whopping $500,000 when they sold it in 2021. Interest rate for mortgages may be one of the most important concerns you may have when purchasing a property. However, few realize that it should not be the most important factor to consider when it comes to choosing the right property for reaping good profits. And here's another example. A unit at Treasure Tampines was bought when the interest rate were high in Q2 of 2019, but it also managed to make tremendous return in just less than 3 years at $416,000. This could be you if you knew exactly what to buy and when, instead of worrying about interest rates. Ultimately, the growth of property prices greatly overshadows hiking interest rate. That said, the rising interest rate will not hinder the growth of a well-planned and selected property. In short, focus on the wrong thing may incur a heftier opportunity cost. The rising interest rate and other trigger factors should be an indication for investors or home buyers to start taking swift action. It is momentarily hard or tough for anyone to time the market, but then there's always a way to shift out the ideal investment property that will reap the best possible reward. I hope that this video helps you feel more confident in your property purchase journey, and if you're still unsure or need professional help to identify what other factors to look out for when choosing the ideal investment property, I am more than happy to provide a free consultation tailored to your situation. And stay tuned for the next episode of #AIP by Dave. Cheers, goodbye.